That's crazy. That's super cool. No, we got moved down here, and so we help really just re-educate, communicate down, and talk about some of the updates. Because, Aflac's been doing this for a long time. You guys have been a client for a long time. But Aflac's had a lot of updates, and there's some products on here today that you guys actually, I'm confident saying, have never seen before, because we've never offered them here before. They're brand new to us, too. So we'll talk through that. I mean, it'll be quick. And please, we brought pizza in. If you guys want some, grab it in. It's all here for you guys. So again, we'll be here all day today. So first off then, since you guys are experts, who can tell me how Aflac works then? What's the difference between health insurance and Aflac? Because that's the biggest difference. That's the main difference. Huh?
Oh, Aflac pays you right, and if just say if you go to the hospital or something, I'm just put my daughter for example. When she was in a car accident,
yeah,
they paid her.
Okay.
Right then.
So when you say paid her, paid you.
Well,
yeah. No, you're nailing it. No, you're nailing it. That's it. That's the biggest difference.
Right.
It pays you.
Right.
So if I have Kaiser, right? I've got Kaiser right now. I go to the doctor. I show him my card. Who's that pay?
Kaiser.
Pays Kaiser. Pays the doctors. Pays the pharmacies. The physicians.
Right.
Pays them, right? Aflac pays us. Pays you. Pays me. Pays all. Like, that's what it's here for, right? Because at the end of the day, if I'm out of work and I have the best health insurance in the world, right? I got the best. But if I'm out of work and I've got a big doctor bill due tomorrow, or the rent or mortgage, and you only can pay one, which one are we paying?
Mortgage.
Why?
Because you have a place to
I got somewhere to live, right? I gotta live. And if once I'm done with the doctor, they're gonna kick me out and say, go home, right? Like, they don't care.
Right.
That's what we're here, is, right? Is we give, here you buddy. And so that's the difference, is that Aflac's here to say, okay, if we're ever hurt, we're sick, here's money, go home, pay your bills. Because at the end of the day, like, our bills are home, like, that's all that matters, right? The doctors, they'll get their money, right? So now as we talk about the advantages, now working 27 years at CTech, if you wanted Aflac, you could call her, you could call us, you can come to our office, you can do that, right? Our office, we got offices all over North Georgia. By working here, you guys get some really nice advantages. So first off, there's a nice price break. So actually by working here, it's anywhere between 30 and 40% more affordable than just coming to our office, right? So it's a nice group rate. The second piece is it is ran through the payroll, right? So how often do you guys get paid?
Weekly.
Weekly? Perfect. So every week you guys run payroll. This comes out automatically, you guys per paycheck, and it does come out, a lot of it's on a pre-tax basis, right? So the more I get paid through pre-tax, the better. The last piece about it that's really awesome, has anyone ever been on Cobra before?
Oh,
Cobra?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
What do you know about it?
Not too much. I just know it paid for me to get my glasses. It gave me a discount on my glasses.
Okay.
Discount on my dental.
Okay. Yep. So what Cobra is, for anybody that's never been on it, you guys never left it. You've always been here, so you've never probably been on it. Cobra is like, so if you work in a company that offers benefits and you left, you retired, you quit, you can go on what they call Cobra, which basically allows you to take those benefits with you. It's really expensive though. And then you only get those benefits for 30, 60, 90 days. And then they go away, right? You lose them. With Aflac, these are yours, right? So if you ever retired or left or you went somewhere else, you to keep them with you, and the rates never change, ever, right? So what's cool is like kind of thinking about like car insurance, right? If we file a claim on our car insurance, what happens to our rates?
Goes up.
They go up every time, right? Sucks, right? With us, you file a claim, nothing changes. It's always the exact same. So it makes it really easy when you understand like every year during renewal, it's always the same, right? It makes our lives a lot easier. So today all I'm going to do is go through real quickly then and talk through this. This is not a sign-up sheet. This is not an enrollment form. This is truly just an attendance form. If you guys can, you throw your name on it. I'm going to collect these when I get done just so we keep track of everybody and make sure we got you guys educated. I'm going to go through a quick high-level overview. A couple of you guys are already on this, so we'll talk through that too. We'll talk about the claims. You already talked about your daughter's car crash. Hopefully she was okay. Yeah, hopefully. I'd like to hear more about that, right? So for first one on here is accident plan. Anybody have kids?
No.
Kids at home? How many you got? Two? How old are they? 5 and 8. Have you ever been to the doctor with them? When was the last time you went to the doctor with one of them? They got hurt. Something happened.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Any other kids that are accident prone? Yeah. What do you got over here? She's over here like, yeah. What happened?
Well, my son played football, he played football, he got hurt in football. He just recently got hurt in the trampoline park, broke his ankle.
Oh my goodness.
But I don't have any Aflac anymore.
Okay, y'all. So I have a really bad trampoline story. So I got a 17-year-old niece. Okay, I got 3 brothers. He's my oldest brother's kid. Her name's Cameron. She lives in Nebraska. This last summer during quarantine, she had this awesome idea to try to jump off the roof onto a trampoline and then land in the pool. That's just God's honest truth. Instead of hitting the pool, she hit the sidewalk. Yeah, she's been in a boot and a scooter. She's got this, like, if you see the x-ray, it's like a cage of screw. She's like, her whole left ankle is fused. Yep. It was awful. Oh yeah. Kids are crazy. They're always doing stuff like that. Like, I'll go to the youngest one, we got Decker, she's 2.5. She choked on some food, had to go to the hospital, right? They pull out her, she's okay, right? She's fine, right? Like, kids always do stuff. If they ever get hurt, they ever have to go to the doctor, it's a way to cover our bills, right? Because we know those aren't cheap, right? Spend the night in the hospital with your son? No, this sucks, right? So Aflac's here saying, if we ever get hurt, go to the doctor, here's money to cover the bills. In the bold there, that $60 wellness screening, that's an incentive for you all every year to go in and do your checkups, right? So traditionally, that's always like your mammograms, your paps, your colonoscopies, but now we're even doing COVID tests. If you go and do a checkup, it pays you $60. It's basically a way for, say, Aflac to say, hey, please be healthy, go do a checkup, right? Pretty basic stuff. Any questions about the accident plan? This is the only way we cover yourself, your spouse, kids, covers you at work, wherever you're at, you're good, right? It's awesome. Anybody ever gone to the chiropractor? Yeah. Ever get hurt? Got to go to the chiropractor. Just for walking in the door, pays you $125. Right? I use it all the time. Actually, that's one of the most common ones. I use it. I mean, it's a great way to cover our time off. Right? Next one here is disability. Disability, especially here in Georgia, is really popular because you guys don't have state disability. Right? If we're out of work and we're not getting a paycheck, I mean, my income takes a hit, right? If nobody else is paying my bills, right? It's like disability is here to cover our income if we're ever hurt or sick and had to miss work, right? Did anybody have to go on quarantine, miss 2 weeks? Yeah, I've had a lot. So, and something in the beginning too, we're worried, like, is it paid? Is it not paid, right? Aflac, we're like, cool, if you ever had to miss work, we got you. However long you're out. If you're out for 6 months, we got you. We're going to cover a portion of your income for as long as you're out. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're not making money. Like, what are we doing? Right? That's why we're here today, right? Is to cover our paycheck, right? So disability is huge. It's a really great way to cover our income if we're ever hurt, sick, out of work. We don't have to pick and choose what bills to pay. The next one there is life insurance. I don't spend a lot of time talking about life insurance. There's a lot of different opinions on life insurance. We do have a couple of options. We've got whole life, we've got term life. I do always ask, who in here has life insurance? Good. That's a good group, right? It's actually surprising how people don't have. I always say, if you don't have it, I really recommend you to look at it. I'm not buy as much. Like, seriously, like for Aflac, we're really competitive at like the 100,000, 50,000 small term life policies. If you want a big million, that's not Aflac. Like, that's not our specialty. I could refer it out somewhere and go buy it. If you want it, great, we'll help you out. We're just really good at if you want a $100,000 30-year term, it's awesome, right? So if you have any question about life insurance, check it off. We'll talk more about it when we meet you guys individually. Because Aflac we're just really easy to get it, right? The next one list is a hospital. And I think, somebody's on a hospital?
Tori?
Yeah, and there's a hospital plan in here. So hospital plan, how that works is, okay, so let's talk about back to our health insurance, right? So talking about our health insurance, who has health insurance? Okay, a few of us, some of us don't, right? Here's the deal. If we got it, okay. If we don't, I get it, right? Everybody's kind of the same boat, right? At the end of the day, you've been on it, or you have health insurance. Have our deductibles gone up or down over the last few years? Right? Come on, right? It's been rough, right? Our health insurance isn't what it used to be. It's really freaking expensive. It's got some big gaps. And that's what this thing's made for, is if we ever are in the hospital, we're ever going through any kind of like diagnostic testing, or going through any kind of surgeries, anything that's involved with the hospital, it's there to help cover our deductible. If we don't have health insurance, it just goes back to you to help cover your time in there. Because we know if we're in the hospital or anywhere, urgent care, it sucks, right? We're cash payments. Usually we go to those med clinics. It's a way to cover our time, right? So it really works for anybody. If we have health insurance or not, it's there to cover our bills. If we're in the hospital going through surgeries, testing, MRIs, CAT scans, it's awesome, right? Because we just know it's, no matter what boat we're in, whether it's Kaiser, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, they're expensive, right? They are. The last two I'll talk about is the cancer and the critical illness. So with the cancer plan, anybody here know somebody's been impacted by cancer?
Yes.
Right, all of us, right?
Yes.
Tell me about it. What do you know?
Too much.
Too much, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
It's hereditary.
Yeah, hereditary? You
It's
said
hereditary.
yes?
Yeah, my dad got cancer.
Yeah.
Dad did?
He does.
Does?
Yeah.
What's he going through?
Prostate.
How long have you been going through it?
Not long. He just got diagnosed with it probably a year ago.
Wow, right? A year ago.
Yeah, my girl died from cancer. My girl died from it.
It sucks because, you know, when I first started, that's how he's always asked, how many people know somebody? Everybody knows somebody nowadays, right? We've seen it firsthand. We've seen loved ones go through it. It's physically devastating. It's emotionally devastating, but the financial aspect, a lot of people don't like to talk about that. You know, if my dad is going through treatment, usually he doesn't drive himself, right? A loved one is taking them in, taking them back, right? If you're going through radiation, yeah, right? If you're taking him, where are you not at?
Or,
Here, right? Now you've got two loss of income, right? I always share the same story all the time. So one of my really good friends, his name is Daniel McConnell. He's in Northern California right now. His wife was diagnosed with bladder cancer at 32. Okay, they were high school sweethearts. They had a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old at home. Right, she caught it early, and they got a really good prognosis. She caught it early. They went in, did treatments, and unfortunately, the treatments just didn't take, and it metastasized. Ended up making it out into her blood, and it was actually in her bones. And it took about 6 months. At that point, the doctor said, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like, we're gonna prep for, the next stages of your life, obviously." And so Daniel, he did a ton of research, and he actually found an experimental treatment center down in Mexico. It's in Tijuana. It's actually called Chipsa, is where it's right over the border. And they would drive from Sacramento, California to Tijuana. They would leave at midnight on Thursday, drive down for a 10 a.m. treatment, stay in the hotel, and drive back Saturday morning. They did that for 12 weeks, right? And, again, I think about my health insurance. He had great benefits. He was a corporate employee of Target. As soon as you say the word Mexico and experimental in the same sentence, good luck. Right? It's crazy. That's what Aflac's for, is if I'm ever taking my dad through treatment, right? We're going in, every time I go in from stem cell, radiation, chemo, there's a payout through the entire life of your treatment, from all the way to the back end, from lodging, hotel stays, gas to get there, right? Again, my health insurance, I can't buy gas with my Kaiser card, but I gotta drive there though, right? That's what we do. And the last one for everybody here today to raise their hand about kids. We do cover all of our kids on this thing at no cost, which is a really cool way to give back. We want to help out because, let's be honest, it sucks if my dad's going through it, but if my kid's going through it, it's hard to even talk about, right? So we want to help out, and Aflac's a way for them to give back and say, we want to help, right? That's what it's here for. But then the last one on here is the critical, that covers your heart, coma, stroke, paralysis. It's kind of like a living life insurance policy. Heaven forbid we were ever to have a heart attack or stroke. A lot of times people don't realize is that with heart attacks, one of the biggest prescriptions, one of the things they do to us is say, go home and relax, right? How long can we do that for though, right? Most people get kind of stressed out, like I gotta get back to work, right? So what Aflac does is say, hey, you know what? here's $20,000. Go home, chill. Like, get the rest that we need so we don't have to rush back to work. So it's a really great way to say, hey, because unfortunately here in the South, we deal a lot with heart disease. Talk a lot about with women and here too with heart disease. It's so important to talk about. It's something we deal with, right? And we know that if I'm out of work, it's tough. Right? That's what it's here for. So unless there's any quick comments, questions about any of the policies we talked about, I do want to highlight the last one. You already see the checkbox on it. Just by sitting in this meeting today, you guys are all going to get access to that. It's a great benefit. It's what we call telemedicine. And what this benefit is has anybody ever used a telemedicine or a teledoc before? You have? What do you know about it?
When you talk to your doctor over the telephone?
Like FaceTime?
Yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah, it's awesome. This thing's really cool. So we're going to provide this to every one of you as basically to say thank you. Thank you for being here for a long time. Telemedicine, so you can use it, your spouse can use it, your kids can use it. If we're ever hurt, if we're ever sick, we want to go talk to a doctor, I don't really want to go wait in line at urgent care right now. Let's be honest, right? It's a way to literally, we FaceTime a doctor. They'll guarantee a real life doctor within 15 minutes. And if they can treat you, they'll call it into your local pharmacy. So prescriptions, refills, if my kid's got pink eye, like it's all the stuff that you can FaceTime, like, oh yeah, it's pink eye, cool, they'll call it in for you. It's awesome. If we don't have health insurance, or we do, it doesn't matter. All it is a $25 copay. For me, that's already cheaper than what my health insurance is to go my copay. So I use it as much as I can. I don't normally tell this story, but because you guys are kind of awesome, I got bit by a dog during quarantine by a neighbor's dog. Yeah, I hear you snickering back there. It was a Mastiff, the Turner and Hooch dog, the giant. Yeah, came into my yard. Yeah, yeah. I was like, I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't like it. I had a ball, and I was like, shh, I threw it, and literally it lashed onto my arm. And
for how long?
It just lashed and let go. It didn't shake. It didn't do anything crazy, but yeah, it bit. It got me. And so I was freaking out. My fiance's freaking out. She's like, we gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, it's fine. And so yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it wasn't fine. So yeah, God, I'm still here. I can't see it, but yeah, I got all the bite marks right here. So I was like, you know what? I don't really want to go to urgent care. It was right in the middle of quarantine because I was like, I'm good. So we did the telemedicine, and literally, old dude answers it up, hops on there. He's like, let me see it, and I'm like FaceTiming in my arm. He's like, yep, I got you. Called in the antibiotics to CVS. I was done in like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
It was awesome. Nothing. It was awesome, right? Called it in, and then he looks at it and he goes, we can do a follow-up in 2 weeks. Well, and then they'll call you back up, look at it again, and you're like, no, you're good. Looks great. I was shocked. I first never used it, and I'm like, you know what? If I got kids, I'll do that all day long, right?
But sometimes I think I still want to go inside and see a doctor.
And that's where I was like, because I was able to ask him, like, should I go to the doctor? And he's like, let me look at it. And he's looking at it, and he's like, no, it's okay. Let me just get you some. So you can get their advice too, right? Because I'm like, and if they're like, hey, you know what? You need to go to the emergency room, then go, right? Like, I'll talk to you first, because especially for like the helicopter parents, they're immediately like, oh, let's go, right? They got to go to the hospital. I'd rather talk to them for a second. Like, do I need to go? And they're like, no, you're okay, right? So it really worked for us. I like it, and it's a great way to get some easy treatment there. So it's, again, we're going to give that to every one of you. It's a great benefit. It'll all go into effect during the first. Doesn't cost anything to have it. So lastly, I'll close out with this is claims, right? And I know you've had it before. Have you filed any claims recently? No? Anybody else? No? Okay. So we have two different types of claims, right? So if you see there in the on the accident plan and the cancer plan, the bold writing there, that $60 and $75 incentive, those are what we call wellness benefits. That's an incentive to go in and do your checkups, right? Our idea is that you catch things early, everybody wins, right? Just like with your dad and what he's going through, like the sooner you catch things, like the better, right? So it's an incentive. So all we need to know is where'd you go, what'd you have done, their phone number, and the date, right? So I went to Kaiser last week, had a physical on Tuesday. Here's their phone number. You go online to the app, upload it, Aflac direct deposits you the next day. So simple. No receipts, no paperwork. It just drop down box. Where'd you go? Done. It's really easy. Now we have a traditional claim, right? I get bit by a dog. My daughter's in a car crash. I'm diagnosed with something. Like, what do we do? So I always tell everybody, I always try to be really clear about this. Anytime you're leaving the doctor, no matter what, if I have health insurance or not, I'm going to a med clinic, I'm going anywhere, chiropractor, right? Give me a breakdown of what happened, okay? An itemized bill. Because what most people do is they'll send us like the little copay. Oh, I paid the $20 or $40. They'll send that to us. Aflac will absolutely cover that doctor visit. But if you had an x-ray or a CAT scan or MRI or all that stuff that they did to you, every one of those has a payout, right? Like again, if they're car crashes, there's a lot, usually like my niece, right? She had the crutches, the boot, the surgery, all that stuff. There's a payout, right? So I always say grab an itemized bill, and now with our cell phone, you can take a picture of it, upload it. There's no more faxing, no more handwritten. It's so simple, right? So when we meet with you guys, we'll download the app. We'll help you out. It's just made everybody's lives a lot easier now with everything going on. So I guess any quick comments, anything for me while we got you here? Pretty cut and dry, pretty easy. Awesome. Okay, well I'll tell you what. If you guys want, if you throw your name on this, I'm gonna collect these here. And I know you guys get to break, grab some food, and then Diane and Haley will be here the rest of the day, and we'll come grab you one at a time, just talk through with you.
Okay.
It's awesome. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.